Have you ever wondered how your ego might be secretly holding you back? It's a thought that many of us overlook in our daily lives. Today, we're going to delve deep into understanding the hidden dangers of the ego. By the end of this video, you'll have a clearer perspective on how to navigate your personal and spiritual growth by recognizing and addressing the influence of the ego. Let's uncover the truths that can help you lead a more fulfilling and enlightened life. The ego is a fundamental aspect of our psyche, often misunderstood and overlooked. At its core, the ego is our sense of self-identity. It is the part of us that says, "I am." It shapes how we perceive ourselves and the world around us. The ego can be thought of as a filter through which we interpret our experiences, shaping our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. While the ego can serve as a necessary tool for survival, providing a sense of self-preservation and personal boundaries, it can also become a barrier to true understanding and growth. Our ego often operates from a place of separateness, distinguishing me from you and us from them. This sense of separation can lead to various problems, especially when it becomes overactive or unchecked. The ego thrives on maintaining its own identity, often through comparison, competition, and the need for validation. This can create a false sense of self that is heavily dependent on external factors, leading to a fragile and insecure sense of identity. One of the most subtle and pervasive ways the ego affects us is through the illusion of control. The ego likes to believe that it is in charge, that it can control the outcomes of situations, and that it has the power to shape reality according to its desires. This illusion of control can lead to a constant state of tension and anxiety as we struggle to make things go our way. However, the truth is that much of life is beyond our control, and clinging to this illusion can cause immense frustration and disappointment. When we try to control every aspect of our lives, we often end up feeling overwhelmed and powerless. The more we cling to the illusion of control, the more we suffer when things don't go as planned. This can manifest in various ways, such as stress, burnout, and a perpetual feeling of inadequacy. By recognizing this illusion and letting go of the need to control everything, we can begin to experience a greater sense of peace and acceptance. The ego's need for control is closely tied to its underlying fear and insecurity. The ego operates from a place of fear, constantly seeking to protect itself from perceived threats. This fear can take many forms, including fear of failure, fear of rejection, and fear of the unknown. These fears often stem from deep-seated insecurities and a lack of self-worth. Fear and insecurity can manifest in various ways, such as avoiding risks, clinging to comfort zones, and resisting change. When we allow our ego to dictate our actions based on fear, we limit our potential for growth and fulfillment. Recognizing these fears and understanding their root causes is the first step towards overcoming them. By facing our fears and insecurities head-on, we can begin to break free from their hold and move towards a more authentic and empowered way of living. Another significant way the ego affects us is through its constant need for validation. The ego craves approval and recognition from others as a way to reinforce its sense of self-worth. This need for validation can lead to a variety of unhealthy behaviors, such as seeking attention, conforming to others' expectations, and measuring our worth based on external achievements. When we rely on external validation to feel good about ourselves, we give away our power and become dependent on others for our sense of worth. This can create a vicious cycle of seeking validation and feeling empty when it is not received. To break free from this cycle, it is essential to cultivate self-acceptance and internal validation. This means recognizing our intrinsic worth and embracing who we are, independent of others' opinions or achievements. The ego thrives on comparison and competition. It constantly measures itself against others, seeking to prove its superiority or avoid feelings of inferiority. This constant comparison can lead to feelings of envy, jealousy, and dissatisfaction. When we compare ourselves to others, we often focus on what we lack rather than appreciating what we have. This can create a sense of lack and scarcity, fueling the ego's insecurities. Comparison and competition can also strain our relationships and create unnecessary conflict. Instead of seeing others as allies or collaborators, we view them as rivals or threats. This mindset can prevent us from forming meaningful connections and working together towards common goals. By shifting our focus from comparison to personal growth, we can start to appreciate our unique qualities and strengths, fostering a more positive and supportive environment. The ego is resistant to change because it thrives on familiarity and predictability. Change threatens the ego's sense of stability and control, leading to resistance and fear. This resistance can prevent us from embracing new opportunities and experiences, keeping us stuck in old patterns and limiting our potential for growth. Recognizing the ego's resistance to change is the first step towards overcoming it. By embracing change and viewing it as an opportunity for growth, we can start to move beyond our comfort zones and explore new possibilities. This requires a shift in mindset from seeing change as a threat to seeing it as a natural and necessary part of life. By adopting a more flexible and open attitude towards change, we can begin to experience greater freedom and fulfillment. The ego can have a significant impact on our relationships. Ego-driven behaviors, such as defensiveness, pride, and lack of empathy, can create conflict and distance in our interactions with others. When we allow our ego to dictate our actions, we prioritize our own needs and desires over those of others, leading to misunderstandings and resentment. To foster healthier and more empathetic relationships, it is essential to recognize and address our ego-driven behaviors. This means practicing active listening, being open to feedback, and showing compassion and understanding towards others. By putting aside our ego and focusing on the needs and feelings of others, we can build more meaningful and supportive connections. Practicing humility is one of the most effective ways to counteract the negative effects of the ego. Humility involves recognizing our limitations, acknowledging our mistakes, and being open to learning and growth. It means letting go of the need to be right or superior and embracing a more modest and grounded approach to life. Humility can lead to greater peace and fulfillment by freeing us from the pressures and expectations of the ego. When we practice humility, we become more open to new experiences and perspectives, allowing us to learn and grow in ways we never thought possible. By cultivating humility, we can experience greater harmony and balance in our lives, leading to a deeper sense of contentment and satisfaction. Developing mindfulness and self-awareness is crucial for understanding and managing the ego. Mindfulness involves being present and fully engaged in the moment, without judgment or distraction. It allows us to observe our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors with greater clarity and objectivity, helping us to recognize the influence of the ego. By practicing mindfulness, we can develop greater self-awareness and insight into our patterns and tendencies. This self-awareness allows us to make more conscious and intentional choices rather than being driven by the unconscious impulses of the ego. Regular mindfulness practices, such as meditation, deep breathing, and mindful observation, can help us stay present and centered, reducing the ego's hold on our lives. To overcome the influence of the ego, it is essential to take practical and actionable steps. Here are some strategies that can help. Practice gratitude. Cultivate a mindset of gratitude by regularly reflecting on the positive aspects of your life. This helps shift your focus from what you lack to what you have, reducing the ego's sense of scarcity and competition. Focus on self-improvement. Instead of comparing yourself to others, focus on your own growth and development. Set personal goals and work towards becoming the best version of yourself. Cultivate empathy and compassion. Practice empathy and compassion towards others by putting yourself in their shoes and understanding their perspectives. This helps to counteract the ego's tendency towards selfishness and separateness. Let go of the need for validation. Recognize your intrinsic worth and embrace who you are, independent of others' opinions or achievements. Focus on internal validation and self-acceptance. Embrace change. View change as an opportunity for growth and exploration rather than a threat. Be open to new experiences and perspectives, and embrace the unknown with curiosity and openness. Practice humility. Recognize your limitations and be open to learning and growth. Let go of the need to be right or superior, and embrace a more modest and grounded approach to life. Develop mindfulness. Practice mindfulness and self-awareness by regularly engaging in mindfulness practices such as meditation, deep breathing, and mindful observation. This helps to reduce the ego's influence and stay present and centered. By implementing these strategies, you can begin to overcome the influence of the ego and experience greater peace, fulfillment, and personal growth. The ego can be a significant barrier to our personal and spiritual growth. By recognizing and addressing the hidden dangers of the ego, we can begin to experience greater peace, fulfillment, and enlightenment. Remember, the ego operates from a place of fear and insecurity, seeking control and validation from external sources. By letting go of these illusions and embracing a more mindful and humble approach to life, we can break free from the ego's hold and unlock our true potential. Thank you for joining us on this journey of self-discovery and growth. We hope that this video has provided you with valuable insights and practical strategies for overcoming the ego. If you found this content helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more empowering and inspirational videos. And don't forget to leave your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Together, we can support and inspire each other on the path to greater self-awareness and fulfillment.